There was a verdict earlier today, a crucial one at that, and what ensued was violence and mayhem in the states of Punjab and Haryana. The city of Panchkula in Haryana, according to media reports, 28 people have died, over 250 are injured in violent clashes that erupted after Dera chief Ram Rahim was found guilty by a CBI court today of raping 2 women back in 2002. Screens right now. A high-level meeting has been called in by Union Home Minister Rajnath Singh at his residence on Saturday. That's tomorrow. The Home Minister has appealed to all Dera supporters to maintain peace. Also, Haryana and Punjab High Court ordered today earlier that any loss of property will be recovered. They'll have to pay for it. Self-styled Godman Gurmeet Ram Rahim supporters were seen clashing with the police and breaking security barricades. In fact, media also came under attack by these angry supporters of the self-styled Godman as they torched OB vehicles. They were on fire. Soon after the verdict that came in at 2:30 p.m. today, Dera supporters started clashing with the armed forces in Panchkula. That's the hotbed, the epicenter of this entire agitation. Police was forced to use tear gas shells and water cannons to disperse the crowds. Curfew has been imposed in Panchkula, several other places in Punjab, Haryana, even in Uttar Pradesh. Home Minister Rajnath Singh earlier spoke to Punjab and Haryana's chief ministers, Manohar Lal Khattar, and Punjab's Chief Minister Amrinder Singh over the phone and discussed the law and order situation in the state. Meanwhile, Haryana's Chief Minister also called for an emergency meeting earlier today to control the situation and appealed to all Dera supporters to maintain peace. Also earlier today, this all happened after a special CBI court held Ram Rahim guilty of charges in a 15-year-old rape case against him under Section 376 of the Indian Penal Code, and the quantum of punishment will be announced this Monday. Ram Rahim could face up to 7 years in jail. The maximum punishment could be life imprisonment. The 50-year-old self-styled Godman was present at the special CBI court when the verdict was announced. Then he was taken into judicial custody soon after the judgment. Seeing the unrest in Panchkula and adjoining areas, police used a chopper to take him to Ambala jail from Panchkula. As we are reporting, the quantum of punishment will be announced on the 28th of this month by the special CBI court. Gurmeet Ram Rahim arrived at the court today with a convoy of more than 180 vehicles. He was charge sheeted for rape only in 2007. The case, remember, pertains to 2002. It must be noted that Ram Rahim enjoys Z+ security cover. All right, let me get in WION senior correspondent Raghvendra Singh, who's been tracking all the developments for us here in Delhi. Raghvendra, give us a sense of exactly what is happening. The situation, as we understand, isn't yet under control. There have been instances of violence reported in Delhi, apart from Punjab and Haryana, and we're also hearing curfew has been imposed in several areas in Uttar Pradesh.
That's correct, Sana, and from whatever we are hearing from our sources on the ground, there is a great degree of tension in several areas in Punjab, particularly the districts of Mansa, Malot, Muktsar. These are the places where the Dera has a sizable following. Also, a couple of railway stations in Punjab, there were attempts at torching some trains there, although both these incidents, the people who were trying to do this were apparently stopped well within time. But yes, some damage has occurred to some of these trains at a couple of stations in Punjab. In Haryana as well, there have been isolated incidents of violence and vandalism. But yes, the real epicenter of all this crisis is continues to be Panchkula, and it is there where there's rampaging mobs are on a free run, so to say. And the authorities are maintaining that they are in the process of gaining control over the situation gradually, but from the kind of visuals we have been getting over the past 4 or 5 hours, it seems as if the authorities are still far from getting a complete grip on the way this entire episode is progressing.
All right, and Raghavendra, we're also hearing, according to reports, that the death toll has gone up to at least 28, over 250 people are injured, and this is in fact on expected lines, looking at the kind of visuals that have been coming in from especially Panchkula, where the tensions continue to be very, very high. We're also hearing how, this matter has completely spiraled out of control as far as the state government is concerned, and now the Union Home Minister, we understand, will be chairing an emergency meeting tomorrow at his residence.
Very close watch on all these developments which are playing out in Punjab and Haryana. Union Secretary Rajiv Maharishi also spoke to the Haryana DGP a while back, and he has been assured by the Haryana DGP that the situation will be brought under control gradually. They are on the right track. They are proceeding in the right direction. That is what the Home Secretary has been conveyed. But the fact that violence is still continuing on the ground in Panchkula in particular, it's a worrisome sign for the authorities, given the fact that Panchkula is located just next to Chandigarh, and Chandigarh not just a union territory but also the capital of both Punjab and Haryana. And the fact that if this city, a modern city, were to bear the brunt of whatever is transpiring in Panchkula, it could lead to a newer crisis. And the real challenge before the authorities right now is to prevent all this vandalism and carnage from spilling into Chandigarh. That is what they are trying hard to do. But yes, still a long way to go, because the fact that there were close to 70 to 80,000 people in Panchkula who had congregated for this verdict, and even some estimates are pegging this number at around 1 lakh people who were gathered there. It'll take some time for these people to disperse, or it'll take some time for the authorities to get these people to disperse. And that is a big challenge. Also the fact that a weekend awaits all these authorities involved in these operations, and they have to deal with these mobs over the weekend, because there is a growing apprehension that many of these people would want to stick around till the August 28th verdict, which is to be pronounced in the same court in Panchkula just a couple of days from now. So that is a greater threat as of now. How to manage these mobs, how to make them disperse.
Right.
The authorities are trying hard to ensure that they are able to disperse these people with minimum use of force. But given the kind of vandalism that has happened today, the kind of violence these mobs have engaged in, it could be, it could just be a matter of time before the forces are, forced or are cornered into a situation where they end up taking stronger action.
Absolutely. In fact, according to a latest update, just for our viewers, Haryana's Chief Minister Manohar Lal Khattar, he is in Panchkula, and he's made a statement. He said that whoever has suffered any sort of damage, they will be compensated. And he's also said that the army will take over as the night progresses, and he has also condemned the violent incidents that have taken place across the state of Haryana. Remember, curfew has been imposed in Punjab, Zabohar and Sangrur areas after this verdict. These are just two of the areas that we're talking about. Many more areas, including Bhatinda and Patiala, curfew has been clamped down. Raghavendra, do stay with me. I'll come back to you in just a bit. Meanwhile, it's important to take a look at exactly who is Gurmeet Ram Rahim, because of which this violence is taking place across 2 states, and now a 3rd state, including Uttar Pradesh, is in the grips. The 50-year-old is the head of spiritual sect Dera Sacha Sauda, which was established by Mastan Balochi in the year 1948, with its headquarters in the Sirsa district of Haryana, very close to the national capital. Now, the Dera has over 46 ashrams that are spread across all over the country, and people who follow or are part of this sect. They are devoted to humanitarian tasks such as blood and organ donation, and they provide education to the needy. The Dera chief has been designated as one of the VVIPs in India, and he enjoys Z+ security cover, which is provided to him by the government of India. He has been convicted today of raping 2 women followers. The case pertains to 2002. But that's not all. He was named in the murder case of a journalist that very year and is also accused of forced castration of sadhus or other godmen in the year 2015. Ram Rahim Singh has also worked as an actor, director, music composer and writer in several movies, including The Messenger of God. It's a trilogy in which he holds the record for performing most number of roles and responsibilities in a single film. In fact, he's performed a total of 48 roles in the series. He was honored with the Dada Saheb Phalke Award, which is one of the highest honors given to people in the film industry for being an actor, director and writer in 2016. And in fact, visuals on the right-hand side of your screens are live from Sirsa. Remember, Sirsa is the very place where the headquarters of the Dera Sacha Sauda are. And this, in fact, has been one of the major flashpoints and could turn into a bigger one as the days progress. So the countdown to the quantum of punishment approaches. In fact, as the Chief Minister said a short while ago, adequate security will be provided. We've been reporting how the centre has been assisting in sending additional security forces to the states of Punjab and Haryana. Ahead of the verdict, there was heavy presence of security, but the supporters were large in numbers and it became really difficult for the security forces to control the protesters who were first emotional. We saw scenes of people crying after the verdict was announced, but soon after those emotions turned very violent, and hence all this vandalism that we see right now, which continued to unfold through the day. Water cannons were used, tear gas shells were used to disperse the angry mobs, and 28 people reportedly are dead, over 250 are injured. In fact, those visuals from earlier in the day, when media persons had to also bear the brunt of the anger of the Dera supporters, many media vans were targeted, several of them burnt, others were vandalized. Dramatic visuals coming in where the government, in fact, the income tax office there in one of the districts in Haryana was also vandalized, completely destroyed. Key areas being targeted by supporters all across Haryana, even Uttar Pradesh and Punjab. So massive fallout of the verdict. Raghavendra is standing by with us. Raghavendra, if you talk about the fallout, would it be correct to say that it's just started and there is an entire time span of 3 days and perhaps more, because remember he's been convicted in a case which falls under section 376 pertaining to rape of the Indian Penal Code. This is a rape case, as we're mentioning, and the maximum punishment is 7 years to life imprisonment, and that could agitate Ram Rahim's followers even more.
Well, absolutely, Sana, and from what I'm given to understand, he has been convicted both for rape and criminal intimidation. That is the latest bit of news we're hearing from Panchkula, and only the quantum remains to be decided on August 28th. Now, as you rightly pointed out, the quantum could range from a minimum 7 years to even life imprisonment. But yes, he stares at a minimum 7 years in prison, and this is one thing which is going to further provide the necessary ammunition for these, these mobs, these rampaging mobs, to further engage in violence and vandalism. And this is where the real challenge lies. How to tackle these mobs in these 2 days, in these upcoming 2 days, as well as on the day of the delivery of the quantum inside that CBI court in Panchkula.
Right.
This is where the authorities, the administration, they will have to get their act together and ensure that the kind of scenes that have been witnessed today are not allowed to go on tomorrow or day after, and some degree of sanity is brought back to the proceedings.
Absolutely, Raghavendra. Stay on with us. A bit of information coming in. Congress President Sonia Gandhi, she's condemned, she's expressed grave concern over the violence in Panchkula and other parts, and she's appealed for peace. We're also hearing that Ram Rahim Singh has been lodged in a makeshift jail at a police training center in Rohtak, and Punjab government is also taking steps to make sure that the violence doesn't affect the other civilians across the state, and Section 144 has been imposed in Ghaziabad, and schools will remain closed in Ghaziabad in Uttar Pradesh for tomorrow. And that's the very latest that we have as of now. Let's play out the reaction of the Chief Minister of Haryana, M.L. Khattar, also Chief Minister of Punjab, Amrinder Singh. Both of them came out with a reaction earlier today. Let's listen in.
CBI कोर्ट ने फैसला दिया है और उसके बाद कुछ लोगों ने, अपराधी वृत्ति के लोग भी इसमें शामिल हुए, जिन्होंने उत्पात मचाया है। कानून को अपने हाथ में जिन लोगों ने लिया है उनके खिलाफ कार्रवाई की जाएगी। कानून से कोई भी व्यक्ति ऊपर नहीं है और इस प्रकार कानून को अपने हाथ में लेने वाले व्यक्तियों के खिलाफ अवश्य कार्रवाई की जाएगी। मैं सभी लोगों से अपील करता हूं कि इस प्रकार की अफवाहों में ना आए, किसी भी अपराधी वृत्ति के लोगों से बचें, उनसे सावधान रहें। ये मेरी आप सब लोगों से अपील है
कि सारे अपने माहौल ਨੂੰ ठीक रखन, शांति ਇੱਥੇ बरकरार रखिए। ਸਾਡੀ सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेस ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਛਾਈਆਂ ਹੋਈਆਂ ਨੇ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। पंजाब पुलिस, सेंट्रल सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेस, फौज का भी प्रबंध साडे कोल है अगर लोड़ पवे। लेकिन आपां इहो जी चीज़ नहीं चाहुंदे और ये असीं चाहुंदे ये है कि पंजाब दे विच शांति रहे और इत्थे कोई खून खराबा ना होए। और मेरी अज बेनती है कि इस गल नूं तुसीं बरकरार रखो।
All right, those were the Chief Ministers reacting on the present situation. Now we have a latest piece of information as well. Let's go across to my colleague Raghavendra Rao. Raghavendra, we're hearing that the quantum of punishment to the Dera Sacha Sauda Chief Gurmeet Ram Rahim Singh will take place through video conferencing this Monday. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Well, Sana, this could be one of the measures being taken by the authorities to prevent further trouble and to also escape the trouble involving transporting Gurmeet Ram Rahim from Rohtak back to Panchkula, because the kind of nuisance his followers are creating right across Haryana and in Panchkula in particular. There is a fear, there is a lurking danger that on the day the quantum of punishment is to be pronounced, we could witness more trouble. And also in the past, when the hearing for these cases was going on in the Panchkula court, initially Gurmeet Ram Rahim used to appear personally in all these hearings, but that always used to lead to a law and order situation in and around Panchkula. Hundreds of Dera followers used to gather in Panchkula and create ruckus. And to prevent that kind of a situation, it was decided that he would depose before the court using video conferencing through a courtroom in Sirsa. Probably taking a cue from that, now the authorities are mulling the possibility of getting Ram Rahim present himself before the court to hear the quantum of punishment through video conferencing. It is just a measure to prevent further trouble or to give any more opportunity to the Dera followers to run amok.
All right, Raghavendra, do stay with me. It all started in the morning, in fact, at 8:36 a.m. We'll take you through the sequence of events. That's when additional forces were requested. They were deployed in Panchkula, the epicenter of the agitation that we've seen today. 9:20 was when he left for the special CBI court, Gurmeet Ram Rahim. Tensions started building up. his followers attempted to stop his convoy. It was a huge convoy with 180 vehicles apart from it. 10:38 a.m. is when they refused to leave the premises. It was virtually the time when tension started peaking. The verdict wasn't out yet. The High Court has ruled that the forces, in fact, will be deployed, and the convoy left at 1:35 p.m. from Kurukshetra after Ram Rahim met with his followers. 2:30 p.m. was when the verdict was announced. Those visuals of his convoy heading to the special CBI court. It's a huge convoy of 180 cars that you can see on your screens right now. Though only 2 of his cars were allowed inside of the CBI special court. 2:28 p.m. that's when ML Khattar, who's the Chief Minister, he came on video and he appealed to all of Ram Rahim supporters for peace and calm. 2:30 p.m. tensions were at their peak. Hearing was on. The verdict was being read out by a special CBI court judge. 3:05, he was convicted. The news was out. He was immediately taken into judicial custody, and and after that, all hell broke loose. We saw supporters who were crying, and after that, all this followed. The security forces had to come in and take control of the situation. Media was targeted. OB vans were targeted. Many of them vandalized. Some of them burnt. And tensions continued to peak. Curfew was clamped in several areas in Panchkula and around. And this is when the Chief Minister was huddled with his close cabinet ministers, taking stock of the situation, an emergency meet that was taking place at 5 p.m. The High Court, the Punjab and Haryana High Court, ordered that all the damage that was done will be paid by the Dera supporters. 28 people are feared dead. Reports started coming in. Earlier, the number was just 5. And this number could, remember, rise further up. Later in the evening, more visuals coming in of how more vehicles were vandalized. By this time, the violence had spread to Delhi as well. So this is how the tension started building up. And now, as we know, there is curfew in parts of Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh and even Delhi. All these places are very, very tense. The situation is very volatile. Remember, the quantum of punishment will be announced on Monday via video conferencing, and we'll have to really wait and watch if the situation will be brought under control. As the Chief Minister said, it will be gradually brought under control. Raghavendra, also give us a sense of what to expect over the next couple of hours. Tomorrow will be another crucial day because, as we've been mentioning, curfew has been clamped down in at least 4 different states.
Well, it is going to be difficult 2 days, both for Punjab and Haryana, because all these followers, these so-called Dera Premis, they potentially have, the chance to create more disruption, more trouble in the lead up to the day when the quantum of punishment is pronounced. Now, that is August 28th. There are 2 days in between. Being a weekend, it will be easier for the government agencies and authorities, given the fact that most of the government setups and many of the private establishments are anyways closed for the weekend. It will give them some elbow room to maneuver their resources and marshal them effectively. They have got enough presence in terms of army and paramilitary. The local police, the state police is also available. The greater challenge is to ensure this violence does not spill into neighboring areas, be it Chandigarh or Mohali or the surrounding areas of Zirakpur, Dera Bassi or even Ambala. Now, these are the areas which are, they are prone to this violence, and they need to be secured in that sense from this violence spilling over to those areas. Now, the authorities already are in a huddle, be it in Haryana, be it in Punjab, even the center. The central government is maintaining real-time communication with both the states, particularly Haryana, because the kind of violence we have witnessed in Haryana, it's unprecedented in a way because it's related to a verdict being pronounced in a court. It hasn't happened before that a situation like this has played out in this kind of fashion in the state. So this is a very critical period. These 2 days would be very crucial. If the authorities manage to gain a grip on things by tomorrow, there could be a possibility that the day the quantum of punishment is announced, that is on Monday, it passes off rather peacefully. But yes, for that they need to take care of close to 70 to 80,000 people. They need to disperse them. They need to ensure that Panchkula is cleared of these people. If they are allowed to hang on in Panchkula, if they are allowed to linger on there, the situation will be far from over.
All right, Raghavendra, thanks so much for joining us with all those updates on this fast-paced, fast-developing story. Really, before we close the show, let's take a quick look at where exactly is everything happening. It's very close to the capital in the country, northern parts, 2 different states which are the hotbed of this violent agitation. At least Punjab and Haryana, 2 states are virtually under siege. Tensions are also in Delhi and Ghaziabad, which is in the adjoining state of Uttar Pradesh. We at WION will continue to get you updates on the situation in the ground as they unfold. But right now, it's time for us to wrap up and take a very short break. We'll be right back with more news and updates. Don't go anywhere.